of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Good evening. This program is called the I-Have Moment of Calm Before the Storm. You know, I'm your host, Mr. Dries Taha. You gotta excuse me because the laws of words were it. You made me laugh.
This is the comedy aspect.
That is the I-Have Moment.
Come on, laughing. Boy, I know this is going to be a good show. He's laughing at them jokes already.
Because you said something to him, and it just...
You want to laugh?
That means spaghetti. Let me get this
Welcome
out.
to an I-Have Moment. This is the host and the co-host, so I guess I'm hosting today because they wiped out.
What's wrong with being spaghetti?
No, he said he made it simple. That's why I know. That's
Yes, you got to make things
simple.
simple.
You
man,
was trying
you
to.
know.
That's why I wasn't laughing at you, but the way you said it. That's why.
But let's get going.
Let's get going.
You know, the camera's on. It's
Still on.
You know.
All right. Ahezaah is something. Praise be to Ahezaah. You know, life. The two sides, the two aspects of it. The two sides of L. Ahezaah explains to us through his method that L is life, and we go about trying to live in it, of it, through it, but not understanding the two sides. You know, Ahezaah give us a symbol that they have the yin and yang, for example, the two opposing sides where there's balance in the middle, coming to harmony. You know, good and bad, heat and cold, up and down. We see these things, but don't recognize they're both aspects of sides of L. You know, people in the world today, especially religion, when tragedy strikes the world, oh, the Lord couldn't have done that. But then I think when Allah said in the scriptures, didn't destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, didn't destroy the people of the time of Noah, took down the world. Then they recreated and repopulated the world again. So when we think about the two sides of L, you know, we really need to investigate further and ask our Lord for his understanding, because one thing Allah give us of this education, once it blesses us with this understanding, it explains to us that we should stand under that. Or like the message explains to us, like it's an umbrella or protection, because we know we start, our own minds start misrepresenting, mistranslating the words of truth, and then we start forming our own religion that people don't even want to fathom or think about. So with that being said, the two sides, you know, Messenger, Brother Fakir, even you in the audience, throw out your questions, comments, you know, think about that. Holy Apostle.
I'll let you go first.
Yeah, well, thank you. But I'm thinking when you're describing two sides of different things, the opposite, the yin and the yang, the hot and the cold, good and the bad, love and hate, love and hate. I remember a lesson where we actually talking about measures of actually the same thing, whether you're talking about temperature, whether you're talking about emotions, but things that still different depending upon where it is on the scale. Even male and female, you know, the same thing of humanity, but something on one scale as opposed to another scale, you know.
Well,
And you
okay,
can look
I
at
understand
two
what you attempted to say. You attempted to go into the Kabbalah in the Book of Enoch,
Yeah.
where it says all things are relative, and when you have a man and woman, they're the same thing on opposite ends. There's opposite ends of the same pole. Just like heat and cold is on opposite ends of the same pole. And you're talking about good and bad is on opposite ends of the same pole. It's so much to be explained about Ahezaah and the way it manifests its attributes and the positive and the negatives of life, because Ahezaah is one in all. And all that is in the one. But Ahezaah has greater aspects of its two sides than that, because we're talking about things that's happening in the world that we know.
Right.
But there's an aspect of L that is on the negative side
Okay.
of nothingness. When you take a scale, a mathematical scale, the center is nothing.
Right.
That's the center. And then you got the positive 1, the negative 1,
Right.
the positive 2, the negative 2, going
Right.
out further and further. Well, Ahezaah exists on that negative side as well. That's where the unseen, the unknowable, the unfathomable, the infinite, impossible being exists in all its expressions of impossibilities. It exists as nothing, no thing at all. In other words, you have all from the center, nothing at all. On the positive side, all things created of the all. So you have the greater of the so-called negative and the positive. Now, where's the greatest power of L manifested? On which side? For your understanding.
Would be on the positive or the
On the positive side, where you see the manifestation of creation, the manifestation of the sun, the moon, the stars, all the universes, and so forth and so on. Well, I beg to differ. I think it's more difficult in staying alone than it is with company. I think the greater power is manifested in that unknown, that alone being that is pure power and nothing but power. Imagine yourself existing without end, without ground, without roof, without walls. Huh? Imagine Ahezaah putting you in a place like that. And you're falling as fast as you could possibly fall, but not falling at all. Can you imagine that feeling? You can't even imagine that feeling. I can imagine that feeling because I've been there, done that. Huh? And was terrified. And it meant me no harm. When it showed me itself in being alone in creation. See, another side is everything comes out of that. So the greatest manifestation of power is there. What do you know of the Creator? You know of the creation.
Right.
You know of its illusions. I'm going to create creation. I'm going to manifest my thoughts by my words and bring them to life in things from myself. From is like away from myself. And from itself you see what? Creation. That's not where the greatest power is. It's of that self, where nothing else exists. Let's imagine, Ahezaah has no contenders in life. Nothing to hinder it from anything. Nothing to hinder it from anything. Nothing could possibly harm it because it is above and beyond, and in the mix of everything, making everything be. How can it harm it? Can the sun harm itself? We know the sun tear down the universe, but can it harm itself? Ahezaah is itself. The sun. You got men walking around here, physicists, talking about we have discovered dark space. We thought the universe was set, but we see it as expanding. We can't see the dark space, but we know the dark space is there because the universe is inside of it, expanding. And this dark space is more powerful than the things in it because it is containing in them. And this dark space is expanding. Oh, shut up, liars. Muhammad told you that Allah is the unseen. That is the dark space you're talking about. The infinite being that everything is within. Huh? The endless being that reflects itself in its so-called dark space, in its dark mysteries of itself. And that's where the real power is at. The thing that contains it and moves it and let it move through it. Huh? So we have that same power that's on this no thing side, on this all thing side. But we don't have these creatures in creation on this no thing side. So where is it that the greatest power exists, that's manifested? It's in that nothing. Because out of nothing, El created everything. Out of nothing. The power is in the nothing. Huh? And what we see of the positive and negative of life, that's only a reflection. That's only a teaching. That's only a sign of the no thing and the all thing. It's only a sign in this life for us to reflect that, oh, that's how it is. It's two sides, at least. Two sides to everything. Huh? One trying to pull away from the other all the time. Or one, yeah. But see, as Enoch had said, Hermes Trismegistus, Jehuti and Thoth, Idris, and As, you know, all the same person. It says that the universe, or Ahezaah said through him, because he was a messenger of Allah, said that the universe expand and contracts. In other words, Ahezaah gave him sight of his creatures. And it said, in man is all of creation.
Right.
Huh? I used to mess with that. Say, okay, we got fire in us, we got iron in us, we got the essence of the earth in us, we got air in us, you know, through the oxygen, we got this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 blah. It says, in man is all of creation. Keeping it on the simple side without mixing beans with your spaghetti. The all is Ahezaah, Allah. The all-ah. The all is in man. The all of creation. All of creation. That's Allah. Is in man. Now, there's a sign in man about all of creation. And there's a sign in all of creation about man. One reflects the other. And it showed Enoch through that the universe, like man, it breathes. Everything breathes. And the whole of the universe is breathe. So in the breath of the Lord, Ah, El-Ah, the Ah is the breath of Amen, the breath of mind. Men is meaning mind. The universe itself expands and contracts. Expands and contracts. So now in this day and time, the physicists with their big telescopes, they realize the universe is expanding. Yeah. And you can talk about that now because you know it won't even be in your lifetime when it contracts again. And you can act like you're the discoverer of what Allah said through Enoch, Muhammad, and many of the other messengers of the Lord that came before them. Before this 26,000 year period of humanity on earth. You go back to your drawing board, like you said, man, been here for 6,000 years. Yeah, right. Now you find out he's been here for millions of years. Huh? And if Ahezaah wanted to let you know, you find out he's been here for billions of years. How you gonna say how long the man been here? Don't you know the angels would be able to tell you how long they been here? Man is mine. Man been here before the creation of the earth. Man is infinite in the mind of El, in the mind of the All. Man has always been here. Mankind has always been here. But we know of ourselves in this time frame, in this now of our being. What do we know about yesterday? You sleep long enough, you forget what you did yesterday. When you talking about eons of time before?
I know Ahezaah of His mercy, man, that it is reality of time. And the time's only temporary for us, that we utilize that we have like the clocks and all those things that happen. We move, but to Allah, it don't begin, middle, and end. To Ahezaah, it's always here. Tomorrow, who knows what's going on? But Ahezaah do.
The Lord said it's all.
Millions of years from now, Ahezaah already knows.
Yeah, everything is now. Right?
Yeah, everything is now for it. There's no beginning or end for it, but it's a beginning and end for everything it creates.
Right.
You know, and time is part of its creation, and time is more regulated in motion than it is in what?
Signs of
See, we call time and we can't give it any other description other than motion. It's space and time. Space and motion is time. How much time it takes for you to get from point A to point B. How much motion it takes for you to get to point A to point B. You know, we put it and we regulate it on a clock, you know, something that Ahezaah give us as a measurement to, and then we think that's it. We've captured time. No, you haven't. It's impossible to capture time because time is of the essence of the Lord Most High. The Lord left a sign for us in the Holy Quran of Muhammad when it said, how long had they tarried? And people thought they tarried for a day or a week or a month or a year, and they had tarried for 100 years. Huh?
That's right.
And then some people step back and say, well, I know that's just an allegory, you know, similitude. How do you know? What is Ahezaah talking about? Ahezaah can preserve whatever it want to preserve.
You would think that the people would identify with it by the space of their time when they may sleep. And it seems like they sleep like that, but they'll look up and it's been 8 hours has passed.
How about when you go to sleep for 30 seconds and think you just slept for 8 hours?
I was about to say that.
How about the times when you go to sleep for 8 hours, you wake up feel like you just went to sleep. How long did I sleep? Man, I've been sleeping. See, because time and energy and space and the essence of those things is Ahezaah. And it does what it wants to do of itself. We are of Ahezaah, the self. When Ahezaah said the first law of nature is self-preservation, man think it's talking about man preserving himself. Man go out there killing up everything. We eat things we don't have to eat to survive. We done made up our own dish. A lot of those things is not good for us, but we live despite what we eat. Huh? But Ahezaah is the essence of our life. Why is it a man can fast for 40 days? Some not even have water and live. While you got some who die in 2-3 days. Why is it that a man fall off a roof, 2 stories high, 3 stories high, 4 stories high, sprain his back or sprain his arm or something and get up and the guy slip on a banana on the ground and break his neck and die? Why? See, people don't know, in space and in time, Ahezaah is the controller of everything of itself. Nothing can move through space because Ahezaah is space without Ahezaah's permission. Nothing, permission, what is permission? A granting of something. Ahezaah grants a certain power to things. In other words, Ahezaah is the doer of all things. It does what wants to be done by things. Huh? That's why we as religious leaders tell you, beg Allah for the essence of itself, the essence of its mind, its right guidance, you know, its truth, its power. Bless us, take us, do it for us. Not let me figure this out for myself. Oh Lord, give me the power to figure it out for myself. What you trying to be, a devil? You trying to be independent of Ahezaah? Because that's what people do all the time. They try to be independent. The no thing, the all things is not independent of the no thing. The no thing on the other side is independent of everything. See, when you reflect, and it used the language so beautiful, and it said these are reflections, the illusions are reflections of my ideas of being. The illusions of, the creation is illusions of my being. The creation is reflections of my thoughts, my mind. My thoughts, my mind, my words are me. I am that I am. That's what I told Moses. Tell him I am that I am. That's what I tell them. Yes, I am. And then they say, okay, what that mean? I am must mean action. Because all we know about it is its actions. No, I am means I am. I exist. Poop. Huh? And they could have explained to Moses and told Moses, tell him everything that Enoch had already told them people. That's right. See, people don't realize Enoch came before him. Had already told them. You know, but you keep asking Allah, and then Allah give you what you ask for. Okay, you don't want my righteousness, my righteous guidance. Okay, I'm going to give you that wrong guidance, and I'm going to penalize you later for it. Or I'm going to penalize you as you go along the way. Because that's what you asked for. You getting sleepy?
No.
Look like you getting sleepy to me.
Nah.
You got a question?
Why do people relate messengers to poets?
Because Ahezaah's words are so beautiful. And poets, they imitate the messengers. And the devil want people to think that poets are more important than the messengers. Therefore, they say, oh, you're nothing but a poet. Why don't they say to the poets, oh, you're nothing but a messenger? You see? So for people to relate messengers of Allah to poets, what they doing is slandering the messengers. That's a slander. That's a take down. You understand? There's nothing among humanity that's equal to a prophet of Allah, a holy prophet, meaning a prophet of the whole. One who has been completely absorbed, immersed in the mind of El, of the Amen. Huh? See, when I speak, I know I sound poetic. I can lay it down and get paid. Ahezaah don't want to let me kiss you.
Yeah, one of the accusations that they accused Muhammad of was being a poet.
Yeah.
The Allah says in the Quran, you are not a poet possessed. These
Right.
words that I give you, they said these stories are the stories of old. We've heard them before. And Allah said, yes. I'm just reminding you of what was always given, sent down to you now. You know, and they was like, okay. It's like they accused this message. He speak the words of truth from Ahezaah and humanity, people. I heard that before, but they haven't heard
They
it
ain't
before.
heard it.
'Cause they
Just
haven't
like
been
they never
understanding.
heard it. Just like when Muhammad was there,
Mhm.
they didn't hear them words
No.
before. They said, "This words of a poet. We heard that before." Wait a minute. Muhammad, Allah, and Gabriel made you recognize that those words
Right.
was there before and showed you those words, and then
Right.
you connected those words with a greater understanding. So, oh, we heard that before. You didn't hear it before because Ahezaah is not going to give you anything that you heard before. What is hearing? Just detecting sound? Well, that's what it is to some people. But see, in our book, hearing is understanding. And they had never heard that understanding
Right.
that Muhammad gave them. If they did, astaghfirullah for them. I that just came right on time. The astaghfirullah sister just walked in.
Yeah.
You know? Go ahead. Another question?
What's the difference between an archangel and a guardian?
Archangel. Anybody want to try with that one?
The archangels are those that compose an element of Ahezaah, the throne, which is a representation.
Okay, let me before we go too far into that.
Yeah.
It's just what it says it is. Guardian, an angel that guards people. Angels are assigned to guard people. Before I became wholly enlightened, my guardian angel Joseph was always with me, protecting me, whispering in my ear guidance, speaking to me. And we got the 1 minute going on, so people, you're going to have to, the New York ones going to have to tune back in.
Yeah.
Hear the rest of this answer.
Catch the second part of this conversation with our Holy-Apostle about the two sides of L. We're going to thank you for tuning in your audience. Continue
Who
watching.
of
and
you
Lord bless you.
want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you